Assalamu alaikum. How are you? Hope all of you are fine. I am Mahmoud Hassan Masood, lecturer, Department of English, Narsindi Government College, Narsindi. I welcome all of you to my online class. Dear students, today I am going to take my fourth class on sentence connectors for the students of class 12. Dear students, I hope you will enjoy my class. So without making any delay, let's start our class. Dear students, at first I will review of my previous class. Dear students, you know I have already taken 3 other classes on sentence connectors, and this is my fourth class. This is my lecture 4 on sentence connectors. In my third class, that means in my previous class, I have talked about sentence connectors of order or sequence, sentence connectors of addition, sentence connectors of comparison, sentence connectors of contrast or opposition, sentence connectors of cause or reason, and sentence connectors of cause, effect or result. So dear students, today I am going to take my fourth class on sentence connectors. Dear students, sentence connectors, lecture 4. Dear students, at first I will tell you about the outline of lecture 4. Today I am going to talk about different categories or list of sentence connectors. Today I am going to talk about these 6 types of sentence connectors. I will also give you some examples on this type of sentence connectors. Today I am going to talk about sentence connectors of emphasis or reinforcement, sentence connectors of example, sentence connectors of summary, sentence connectors of reference, sentence connectors of alternative or replacement, and sentence connectors of condition. These are the 6 categories of sentence connectors. Today I am going to talk about, dear students. Dear students, at first we will know about sentence connectors of reinforcement or emphasis. And when we will use this type of sentence connectors, dear students, you can see uses when you want to reinforce or emphasize your previous statement and add certainty to it with actual example. Or you can say when you want to give importance to or stress something. Dear students, when you write something or when you say something, you certainly put emphasis on your sentences. So if you want to reinforce or emphasize your previous statement and you want to add certainty to your statement, then you can use these type of sentence connectors. So let's see what are the words that belong to this group, this type, this category of sentence connector. That means sentence connectors of reinforcement or emphasis. What are the words, students? Above all, actually, additionally, again, also, as well as, especially, indeed, in addition, of course, notably, obviously, particularly, in particular, specifically, to, definitely, as a matter of fact, in fact, in any case, surprisingly, undoubtedly, absolutely, certainly, without doubt, etc. So these are the words you can use when you want to reinforce or emphasize your idea. So dear students, these are the words or phrases that are used to connect two sentences when you want to put emphasis. So let's see examples on sentence connectors of reinforcement or emphasis. The students, example on sentence connectors of reinforcement or emphasis. First example is given with above all. He has set up many educational institutions. He has donated a good amount of money to the mosque. Above all, he is a great humanitarian. Then actually, I think it would be a good idea to send her some flowers. Actually, you should gauge for 100 orchids. Then certainly it is a wonderful trick. I will certainly remember this trick, or certainly I will remember this trick. Indeed, he may be the best dressed man around. Indeed, he has a really good taste in fashion. Then, final one is with, in fact. I told them not to invite Sophia to the party. Not to invite Sophia to the party. In fact, truly, I was the only person who saw what a party poorer she really was. She really was a party poorer. That's why I told them not to invite Sophia to the party. Let's move to the next slide, dear students. Sentence connectors of example. You can see uses. When we use this type of sentence connectors, when you want to illustrate or give an example. So when you say something or write something, then sometimes we give examples, sometimes we use examples, or we want to illustrate our thought. Then we use this type of sentence connectors of example. So let us see what are the words that belong to this group of sentence connectors. For example, as an example, for instance, an instance of this, such as, namely, like or as, in other words, that is, to illustrate, as illustration, to demonstrate, in particular, etc. So these are the words we use when we go for giving example. When we want to illustrate something, give an illustration of something, then we use this type of sentence connectors, this type of words or phrases or adverbs. So dear students, sentence connectors of examples of sentence connectors of example. Let us see examples. For example, for instance, such as, namely, you can use any one of them when you go to give example. So let's see. Many birds are called birds of prey. Many birds are called birds of prey. For example, for instance, such as, namely, the eagle, the vulture, etc. are called birds of prey. So here examples are given on birds of prey. Then another example, smoking is harmful to us in various ways. In various ways, it causes various diseases. So what are the diseases? Such as or namely. Diseases are such as or namely. Look at the underlined word: blood pressure, heart attack, bronchitis, cancer, etc. So example or such as or namely, for example, blood pressure, heart attack, bronchitis, cancer, etc. are the various diseases, okay, caused by smoking. Then as an illustration, sentence connector. There are many ancient temples here. As an illustration, we can mention the name of Kantoji temple. So there are many temples, ancient temples here. We can illustrate, but as an illustration, we can mention the name of the Kantoji temple. Kantoji temple is one of them among ancient temples. Then, in other words, his crazy activities were crossing all limits. In other words, he was almost mad. Then, don't be unsociable. In other words, go out and make some friends. Then, namely, many European countries, namely, such as Italy and France, produce the best wine. So these are the examples. These are the words or phrases that are used to give examples. Dear students, now you can see, now we are going to talk about sentence connectors of summary. So you can guess actually from the title sentence connectors summary what I am going to talk about, dear students. And there are some words that belongs to this group sentence connectors of summary. So when will you use this type of sentence connectors? When you want to summarize the previous incidents or actions or events. If you want to summarize the previous incidents or actions or events, you can use this type of sentence connectors, any one of them. So if you want to summarize your writing, then you can sum up with this type of sentence connectors, such as in brief, in short, to sum up, to summarize, on the whole, above all, in all or in total, in general, in other words, altogether, overall, on the whole, in sum, after all, in general, clearly, anyway. These are the words you can use when you want to summarize the previous incidents or actions or events. The students, if I want to give an example on sentence connectors of summary, then I can say, Mr. Hassan is a rich man. He helps many people with his money. He donates his money to mosque. He donates his money to educational institutions. He also helps poor students. Above all, he is a humanitarian. Above all, he is a very kind-hearted person. So here, the word above all is used to summarize the activities of Mr. Hassan, to summarize the helpfulness of Mr. Hassan. So dear students, now you can see sentence connectors of reference. So when you will use this type of sentence connectors, if you want to refer to the previous sentences, previous actions. So let's see what are the words or phrases that belong to this group. Mainly, as follow, mostly, chiefly, namely, for instance, notably, for example, in other words, particularly, in particular, such as, including, that is. So these are the words you can use if you want to refer to the previous actions or previous events or previous sentences, dear students. Let's see examples. Okay, example on sentence connectors of reference. I have given an example with particularly. They have committed many crimes. Particularly, giving reference to their crimes. They have killed many people in broad daylight and have demolished many houses of innocent civilians. Let's move to the next slide. Dear students, sentence connectors of alternative or replacement. Uses of sentence connectors of alternative or replacement. When you want to express something alternatively. If you want to express something alternatively, you can use this type of sentence connectors, this type of words or phrases. The words or phrases are again alternatively, rather the alternative. Let's see example of sentence connectors of the alternative or replacement. Students, you can see example on sentence connectors of alternative or replacement. Rather, physical exercise is important for the preservation of good health. Okay, but over exercise never does good. Our exercise never does good. Rather, expressing alternatively different way, rather it breaks down the health. So our exercise never does good. Alternatively, here we can use rather, our brother sentence connector. It breaks down the health. The alternative. Another word, the alternative sentence connector. We have to leave this place. Okay? The alternative is to choose death. So we have to leave this place. Otherwise, we have to choose death. Okay? Students, sentence connectors of condition. Uses. When will you use this type of sentence connectors? You can see. When you want to impose condition. Let's see what are the words that belong to this group. If, or, otherwise, unless, until, till, provided, provided that, providing that, in case, as long as, supposing that, once, had, where, should, when. If you want to impose condition, then you can use this type of sentence connectors. Let's say example. Students, example on sentence connectors of condition. First example is given with if. If you want, I shall help you. Otherwise, I hope the bus comes soon. Otherwise, I will be late for my appointment with the doctor. Unless you will fail unless you are sincere. Till or until. Wait here till or until I come back. Until I come back. Condition. Provided that or providing that. The plane will take off. Provided that or providing that the weather is fine. In case you fail to find my house. In case you fail to find my house, then phone me. So in case. So here if, otherwise, unless, till or until, provided that or providing that, in case. These are the words are used to show cause, to impose cause. Sorry, to show condition, to impose condition. Students, homework for you. And your homework is sentence connectors, good question 2017-2018. Students, as you are staying at home, I think you have plenty of time to do your homework. So do your homework on sentence connectors, good questions 2017 and 2018. And obviously, certainly, you have to show this homework to me when your college reopens, dear students. Dear students, thank you very much for joining in my class. Thank you very much for watching me. You know, I have taken 4 classes on sentence connectors. I hope my classes will help you to a great extent to continue your studies on English grammar. Dear students, I hope I will come back very soon with another class. Stay safe, stay blessed. Thank you very much, dear students.